Salut pour tous, soyez les bienvenus dans le programme Planète Équitable avec Adesanetti. And to all of you which are interested on the new global carbon market, we are doing a series of programs in order to elucidate what are the options, the alternatives, and how you can enter this market. I started talking about this huge gap on prices, some worth nothing, some worth more than 1,600 US dollars per ton of CO2, and I stated that this huge difference between prices is related to the technology you'll be using, the technology you will be applying in order to generate those carbon credits. Each technology you use have a determined cost for implementation, and this implementation cost is covered by the carbon credits. Of course, after you implement the technology, it must be sufficient enough to generate jobs and incomes to sustain it operation over time. And then I started talking about this carbon dioxide removal market, which is a very promising market for tropical countries. We have an excess of CO2 which has already been emitted into the atmosphere, and we need to remove that. So the technologies to remove that CO2 will be the ones that have the more promising future. And I told you I've been working on 1.1 million tons of credits coming from those CDR alternatives, and this is a fraction, a minimum fraction of this huge market that we have in the future. And then I start talking about the alternatives we have for landholders in the tropical countries. And I told you about land use intensification, and then production of using the biomass resulting from that to produce industrial timber and biochar, for example. Those are the technologies we will be talking about on our next episodes, starting by intensifying sustainable or forest management. As a rule, the tropical forests produce very low amounts of volume on biomass every year, and we can easily increase this production by improving the space we have between trees. As a rule, tropical forests are invaded today by secondary vegetation, and by removing the secondary vegetation and planting new and more adapted to this raise on CO2 levels trees, we can increase the productivity, and this increase on productivity will generate carbon credits. The cost that you have on removing this vegetation and planting new trees, this cost will be covered by carbon credits, and this increase in productivity can be further transferred, and we'll be talking about this on our next episodes. Don't lose those. Let God's peace and the love that builds be our weapons on our daily struggle for justice. Adesanetti for tous les amis africains.